Hello, everybody. This is Keith Caldwell with Our Special Needs Children. I have with me today Lois Brady. Today's topic is to talk about apps for young adults. We've been covering other apps for children, but we've been asked to sort of talk about apps for young adults. So Lois, go ahead and take it from here.
That's correct, Keith. Most of the apps on the market have been developed for young children. And that's not to say that you can't modify them for adults, but there's a few apps out there that work really well with our young adults and adult population who don't like the little cartoons, the talking animals, the music jingles. And yet there are some adults who do like those things. So it's kind of up to the adult in the person's life to kind of monitor what they want them listening to and doing, what apps they want to use. But in general, there's some great apps out there that are on the market. And believe it or not, Apple has put in so many apps and accessibility features that it makes it really easy for adults or young adults to transfer from using those grade school apps into adulthood, where they're using just the apps that Apple has given us to use. Now they're not using any accessible technology at all. They're just using their iPads, and I'm going to show a couple of those today.
Okay. Hey, Lois, I know last time we didn't do it. I want to make sure we do it this time. You've written a book and you've recently updated. Can you talk briefly about that?
Absolutely, I have, and I have it right here, Keith.
Voila!
It's called Apps for Autism, and it has 38 chapters that cover everything from expressive language, receptive language, video modeling, self-help, all different areas, 38 different areas. There's even chapters there for just the parents, just the therapist, and just the teacher. The thing I want to say about that in today's Hangout is that within each one of these chapters, I've included an adult version or an adult workaround for that particular topic and subject area. Another great thing I did in this book that wasn't in the first book, because this isn't a revised edition, is I went around to all the various experts in that particular topic area, such as, believe it or not, there's experts in autism and swallowing. There's a chapter on that. A lot of our kids have difficulty chewing and swallowing, or even just awareness of their tongue, their lips, their mouth. And there's an expert on that. She wrote the introduction. So edutainment, that's another huge area we're all finding out is big. If we can't get our kids' attention, we can't teach them. They're in their heads, and if we can't focus them on what we want to teach them, then they're not even hearing us. So edutainment's huge. The biggest person in edutainment today is, of course, Toca Boca. So the CEO of Toca Boca wrote the chapter introduction for edutainment section. Mm-hmm. Lots of gems like that. There's lots of different folks in there this time. It's not all me, which is good or bad, but I just want to try to bring in lots of different viewpoints. There's some parent viewpoints. There's other professionals and professionals from, like I said, Toca Boca, the CEO of Toca Boca. Well, he doesn't work with special needs at all. As a matter of fact, his apps were never meant for special needs, but they're the best on the market today. So anyway, that being said, today's topic is our young adults or adult population and what can they use. So I think right now I will go over to our screen share feature so I can show exactly some of the great things we use.
And I will go ahead and lock on you so it sees you all the time.
Okay. If anyone has any questions, please feel free to type them up in our comment area while I'm getting this going. Okie dokie. So Keith, do you know that this would happen?
Are you having a problem with it?
Oh. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit my sharing app and then restart it. So hang in there, everyone who's here. We will get to our promised, there it is, mirroring. So hopefully everyone can see that. Keith, can you?
Let's see. Yes, I can.
Excellent. Okay, so the first thing I wanted to go through was the apps that Apple already has on every single iPad and how they can help our young adults. But basically just anybody. These apps were, again, never meant for special needs, but they work fabulously with special needs. And I think our goal in assistive technology is if you don't have to use something special, don't use it. So we're going to go directly to an app called Reminders. And I set up a little kind of like a daily task analysis there. You can see it: wake up, eat breakfast, get on the bus, circle time. And how I've used this with young adults is it's very easy to just add another task in there. So go to bed, and we're going to just add sleep. And we're going to say done. So now we have one more task. So it's very easy to add tasks and take tasks away. And just about every room you go into, you're going to see the teacher has written up on the board or up on some paper the day's routine. When I work with kids, I go in and I open up their Reminders app and I have them write in their own routine. And as they do it, I'm just going to touch wake up, eat breakfast. You can check them off. So as they go through their day, they simply just check off the things that they've done. Very easy. It doesn't even have to be for their day. You can put a recipe in there. You can put in a task analysis for brushing your teeth. So whatever you want. This is a task analysis, so to speak, for everybody. And it works really well. And like I say, your young adults, they don't have to have anything special. They just open up their Reminders app and get going. So that's one of my favorite ones I love using. And believe it or not, people who you wouldn't even think would be able to do this, they're still nonverbal. They get it, they do it, and they like it, and it helps them kind of organize their whole day.
Hey, Lois, let me make sure I'm understanding this correctly. So this is an app that you can, you say task analysis, so you have like, brush your teeth. Can you break it down to say, first you put out the toothpaste, then you get out the toothbrush, then you put the toothpaste on it? Is it that kind of detail that you could do?
Absolutely. And you can make different reminders for different tasks. You can break it down, like you can take each one of these tasks and break it down further. And as you can see along the, I guess it's the left-hand side, where it says Lois Brady and Reminders, they will be stored there. So I just have a few tasks in there because this is my own personal one, and I sometimes just use it for like grocery shopping, which is another excellent idea, especially for our older students. We want them to learn to go shopping. Make a list. Just make that list and they check it off as they go down. There's a ton of shopping list apps out there, grocery shopping apps. Some of them are made for special needs, some of them not, but you don't need them. It's right here. It's already in your iPad. So let's just use those. And Apple is excellent for making things accessible. And they're not glitchy, they don't ever break down, and they get updated frequently. So these are some of the best ones. And you can see there's colors you can add to them and different ways to organize it. So Reminders is a very good one. Making that list and checking it off, that's really good for all our kids on the spectrum and young adults. Okay, so moving on, we'll go to another one that has been a favorite of all my students, and I have to say from young to adult, is just the plain calendar. So you can see how here's everything marked. It's all there. All the things that you're doing from, now, in the past, in the future, it's all there. And it's very easy for them to go in and mark special holidays, times when they're not in school. That kind of is a little bit upsetting for our kids when they wake up Monday morning and it's vacation and they don't go to school and no one has told them why or forgot to explain to them, well, today is, it's Thanksgiving break and we don't have school this whole week. But if someone just the week beforehand went in the calendar and said, no school, no school, no school, Thanksgiving, that would have been fabulous. Just check your calendar like everyone else does. You just direct them to the calendar and then they go in and look at it and figure out why there's no school today. So the calendar is fabulous. I've had little kids use this. It's very easy. Again, it's very user-friendly. Apple makes some of the most user-friendly products on the market. And again, it can be color coded. Keeps you up. You see the red circle on the 20, that's today. So the only thing it doesn't have that might be helpful is there's no picture support there, only words. But it's fabulous. So set up the calendars for your kids already on your iPhone. And the next one I want to go to, and I hope it lets us hear it, is called Maps. Okay, so many of our young adults are wanting to do things independently, all by themselves. They don't want their mom or dad hanging around with them. Yet as a mom or a dad, you're a little bit nervous about letting your young adult walk to the store by themselves. You want to follow them and hide behind the tree.
And we will.
I know we do. We do that anyhow. But if you go to Maps, this gives us all a little bit of security. And in the upper bar, let's say that your son wants to go to Starbucks. So we're going to type in Starbucks.
I think
actually, they type it in themselves. You don't do it for them. And then they tell you, oh, look at all these different Starbucks you can go to. There's one in, unfortunately, I'm here in Martinez, and it has me going to a Starbucks in Vallejo. So we're going to choose that one anyhow. And then we say up in the upper left-hand corner, directions. Okay. Now, the really nice thing is it gives you driving directions, but it also gives you walking directions. So if you see that button that says drive, right next to it is walk. You just tap that, and it gives you walking directions. Now, unfortunately, the Starbucks I chose was across a bridge because I don't think I have my location services on. So it took me all the way around to bridges that I could walk across. Okay? And now we're going to say start. It's at the middle bottom is something that says start. And we've all used this while we're driving. Mm-hmm. And there it is. There's our starting directions. So it's going to tell you step by step where to turn, where to go, how to get there. You can follow yourself walking. There's that little blue dot. So you can follow it walking. And I believe, Keith, if I wasn't hooked up to Reflector now, you would even have Siri to help you out with some of the directions, just like you do in your car when you're driving.
Right. And that's really important if we're trying to help our kids become more independent, because as we all have talked about in the past, eventually we're not going to be here, and the more independent we can help them become with these tools, the better. So it would behoove us as parents to give them more opportunities to go out and do that and be themselves.
Right, right. And this map from, again, it's just an Apple product. It's on you don't have to buy it separately. That's the great thing about it. And it's the best one on the market anyhow. But Keith, there's another component to this. Let's say that your son, your daughter does have their iPhone and they are starting to walk down to the Starbucks. You want to follow them, but you don't want to follow them. There's something you can do. You can use Find My iPhone. Oh my gosh, that is so perfect. So wherever they go, you know exactly where they are because you're following them on Find My iPhone. And all you really need to do is go in into whatever account they're using and set it up on your iPhone, and you can track where they are. So now there's not that much of a worry. We can let them a little bit out of our eyesight, give them a little bit more independence, but still know that they're safe because we're watching them on Find My iPhone. Now, I know that gets a lot of married couples in trouble, but for our special needs kids, it's great. It's great. And there's another one.
Lois, real quick, I just want to make sure I gave the right answer. I think I did. Hazel asked the question of whether or not these apps were for just young adults. And I pretty much told her, no, I think anyone can use these apps, and probably good to have your kids, my son's 11, get started using these things, get comfortable using these things now.
Right, typing in, have them, and it's really important that they start typing in their own information. If they want to go to Starbucks, this is a whole learning process. Well, which one do you want to go to? Because there's a ton of them. You want to go to Burger King. Well, which one? Type in the one you want to go to, or just start typing it. And this location service is so fantastic. It gives you a whole list of what's available in the area. as long as you have your location services turned on, and then you get to pick which one. So you can start them out from the very beginning to how to use this, not just, okay, here's where you're going, here's your map, go. Make it their complete responsibility, make them really independent. But put on Find My iPhone and you can still watch them so that, you know, we have that measure of security ourselves as a parent. So yes, that was the right answer. Thank you, Keith, for answering that, because I can't see the comments as they come up right now. But I did want to talk a little bit more about, like I went somewhere. Anyway, Find My Friends. Okay, so we have Find My iPhone, which tracks your iPhone. But there's an app called Find My Friends, and that is also a native Apple app. And if you load that one in, you can actually build geofences. So you could put a fence around an area, say your school, your neighborhood, your house, that when your son or your daughter left that area, you would be notified immediately. It notifies you when you leave a geofenced area. Now, setting that up is not that hard. It sounds hard to set up a geofence, but it's not hard at all. And then you even have a little bit more security. You can take your eyes off of them for a moment, let them go, and if they leave your particular area that you've set up, you'll get notified. That's great.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this doesn't necessarily pertain to young adults, or it just pertains in general. Could you
Correct.
set one of these geo things like at a school, like say, if you have a runner child?
Yes, absolutely. And that's what I mentioned in the book is people are saying, well, how do I, you know, what are the ways I can protect my child at school? He's not with me, she's not with me. Oh my gosh, I worry all day. And we worry all day. The only thing is that you need to know that your child always has their device with them, because if they leave their device on their desk and then go, you know, that doesn't help. But if they're the child who loves their device and always has it with them, wants to take it with them, then you're okay, because these things only work, they're really tracking the device, not your child, your son, your daughter. So, you know, I've known a couple folks to throw an old iPhone in a backpack that has these things in them, the Find My iPhone and the geofence is set up. And they're actually set up for security so that you know where your iPhone is if someone takes it. And the Find My Friends is literally just for that. You set up geo fences for wherever you're going to have a party, and you know when your friends come to the party, you get an alert. So, but we can use it in a different way. We can take it and tweak it and use it in a different way. But it's great technology and something we could all have a little peace of mind when we use it. Especially for those guys who don't go anywhere without their device. And there's plenty of our kids who love their devices a lot and won't go anywhere without it.
Very true.
I'm sorry, Keith?
I said very true. My son loves his iPad. We
Okay.
haven't got him a phone yet since he's nonverbal, so, but he loves his iPad.
Yeah, they really like them. They're so attached. As a matter of fact, when they first walk in the door, I hear a lot of parents say that the first thing their child asks for is iPad.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving along, I'm going to go do another app that is, again, it's not native to the iPad, but it's free to everybody, and it's called Google Earth. And this app, I wish I had it when I was studying like geography and where I lived and different places of the world, because this is one of the most incredible free apps out there today. And you can see there's the Earth. I'm going to pinch it out, make it a little bit bigger, spin it around. So you can literally go anywhere in the entire world. We've all played with this. But there's something that we all do at school. It's in every child's IEP. It's like, oh my gosh, learn your address. And so the kids memorize their address because they get reinforced at the end for doing it. But they don't really know what those numbers mean. So if you go up to the top and you type in your address,
Well, let's not use your real address, please. Okay, just use like 50. Wait, just use some address. 1234 Main Street in New York.
Oh, I know what to do. We'll go there.
Yeah, I don't want to use your real address, folks.
Okay, so you don't really even have to type in the whole thing. There's your drop-down list, and you can say, okay, so you want to go to Main Street in San Francisco, Pleasanton, Oakley, Napa. Where do we want to go? Let's just say we're going to San Francisco, of course. And all of a sudden, you're going to watch.
That is really cool. I forgot I haven't used this in a while, but I love Google Earth.
Here it comes. Here it comes. Now, at this point in time, your student still doesn't know what's happening. They don't really still get what they've just typed in, but now you can actually zoom in on it and look at it. And about now, they start understanding, oh my God, that's my house.
Right.
That number I just typed in equals my house. Isn't that fantastic? And then you can move along. You can go to grandma's house. And these are all things that are, they're not childish. These are very adult things. They're things that I've played with. I'm sure you have too, Keith. Our kids can do it. Let's let them figure out about the world. Who's down the block? I mean, we can talk about so many things here. You can even show them the route to get to their favorite spot. You're going to walk down this street. You know, this is what it's going to look like. And way up here in the right-hand corner, you're going to see a little person. And if you drag and drop that person on the road, you're going to get a view of the road. This is where you're going. And this is what the buildings look like. You're going to see some construction. You're going to look around. There's going to be some trees. This is San Francisco. So kids who are having difficulty with transitions, difficulty, you know, where they are, you can teach so much here. Just show them where you're going, where they live. In this very adult app, you can cover many different topics. So don't forget about Google Earth. Okay. There's another, there's a setting right inside of your accessibility settings that is recommended for every single adult and student, no matter what their special needs are. We're going to go to settings. We're going to go to accessibility. And it was actually made for speech. Yeah, there it is. So we're going to go to speech. It's actually made for people who have low vision, but it's fabulous for our kids who are either dyslexic or have trouble reading or can't quite put the words together. We're going to turn on this little thing called Speak Selection. Okay, and I'm going to show you how that works. I have preloaded something in my notes, but you can use this for anything. I'm just using, this is what we call the rainbow passage, and we use this quite a bit in therapy. But what you do to get it to speak selection is you double tap, and then you stretch out what you want it to read. Okay, and then you see that bar across the top? You can cut, copy, paste, and then you can speak it. So if I hit speak.
When the sunlight strikes raindrops in the air, sheet white light into many beautiful colors. These take the shape of a long round arch with...
Okay, it speaks it. So that's just excellent. So if your student, your son, your daughter is reading something, they don't know what the word says, or they just want someone else to read it, or they're having trouble because they're dyslexic, put on speak selection. There's even a setting where it highlights the words as you go along. So depending on what they need, you can either have it highlighted as you go along or just highlight the whole section like I did. So speak selection is excellent. Put it on all your iPads and just have it available. They don't have to use it all the time, but if they need it, it's available. Okay, so those are some of the wonderful things that Apple has done for us in their accessibilities and just in their apps in general. But excuse me. I'm going to show an app now that is made specifically for therapy. And if we can go there. Ah, here it is. And it's sideways. Okay, there it is. So this app was made for rehab, for folks in the hospital. But the cool thing and why I chose it for our adult population is, let's go to naming therapy. It's more mature. It's adult-like. There's a light version. I have the light version right now. and get it, try it out. But as you can see, there's no little talking animals. It's all very adult. Look along the bottom. There's a lot of different prompting levels that you can give. There's even the self-monitoring, the check and the X up in the upper right-hand corner. And it goes on to phone.
A device for talking to people far away.
Tells you what it is. And then you get to spell it out. So there's a lot of different things to do in this app. And if I go back to home, you can see that there's things you can do. Naming, describing, flashcards, and even further, there's a comprehension, there's a reading, and there's a writing. So lots of different areas you can target with this app because it's very adult-like. You're not going to feel like a child using it. You're not going to hear little voices. Again, no characters, nothing like that. It's an excellent therapeutic app.
What was the name of the app again, Lois?
I'm sorry?
What was the name of this app again?
This is called, each one, this one right here is called Therapy Light.
Okay.
It gives a sample of each one of these therapy apps. Each one is sold separately, or you can get them all 4 sold together.
Okay.
Okay, it's very nice. Let's see, and the next one I'm going to show is called Pictello.
And remember, everybody, the feature matching checklist that you were all emailed who are watching this, and those who are watching it after the fact, you can get it on our website as well. You can use the feature matching checklist to sort of evaluate whether a particular app makes sense for you and your family. So feel free to use it for that purpose.
Correct. So this one is, there's many open-ended book apps on the market today, and there's some that are very fun, they're very easy, you can draw on them. I chose this one because it is more mature. It's very adult-like. It has all the features you would ever want, and it's just an open, if you think of it as just a book with blank pages, and you add your own pages, you create your own stories, you can add text, voiceovers, or do text-to-speech or recording. And I'm going to show you an example of how to ride a train, because that would be something that one of our children may want to do. So we're going to...
How to ride a tram.
Okay, and there they are waiting.
Wait for the tram at the tram stop.
Okay.
The tram has more than one door. Look for a door with these buttons. Press the top button to open the door.
Okay, so that's just a story someone else has made regarding how to ride a train that's in their area. Again, this is completely open-ended. You can put in your own book with your own pictures. My advice is have your own son or daughter student do it themselves, or come along with you and do it and help you. So what do they want to look at when they go to ride the bus, when they go to take a walk? Airport. I made these for kids who are going, it's a holiday season, who are going to fly to see somebody. Never been to an airport. Oh my gosh, that's scary. There's a lot of things to do. There's a lot of waiting. You got to take your shoes off and put them in a bin. That, for some reason, is probably the most stressful thing at the airport for our students on the spectrum. It's having to take their shoes off, put them in a bin, and not knowing will they ever get them back. So,
very true.
that Keith?
I can see my son like, what are these guys doing with my shoes?
Right, right. So they need to know that, yes, they just go through the tunnel, and yes, you do get to put them back on. Just that simple. You can prevent a meltdown just by showing them those simple steps. You take them off, you put them back on. So it's good to use in many different situations. Again, it's very open-ended. You can put in pictures or videos, and as you can see, you can write on the top and the bottom. You can make it for many different students or just one student. And you can make it really pretty with the transitions. So this is a very good adult kind of open-ended book app. Okay, last one I'm going to show today is made.
Hold on. What was the name of this app again?
Oh, that was Pictello.
Pick, tell, oh,
At the
P-I-C.
top there.
Yes.
Has a little more adult feel with
Mhm.
the wooden background and all. Last one we're going to do is from the Conover Company. They make a whole host of apps that are just awesome. Okay, here's one that's called Hygiene HD. Again, it's from the Conover Company. They make 47 of these types of apps. We're going to just show you this one.
Welcome to the Functional Skills System.
Okay.
Select the video you want to watch.
They have been making apps for young adults for many, many years. So they have so much resources at their fingertips that when the iPad came out, they were able to transfer a lot of their video onto iPad format. So as you can see, this one has to do with hygiene. So you're going to be brushing your teeth, flossing your teeth, taking a shower. But they have apps for social skills. They have apps for reading safety signs. They have apps for literacy, or taking mass transit. They've covered everything that a young adult would need to know, including vocational job interviews, how to act at the job, how to get your job done. But I'm just going to show you the hygiene one, and we'll go with how to use deodorant.
How to use deodorant. This says how to use deodorant. It is important that you know how to put on deodorant so you do not smell. To do this, get out the deodorant. Take off the lid. Place deodorant on your underarms.
This is one of Temple
Rub onto
Grandin's
underarms,
stories.
and then put the deodorant away. Here is how to do this. How to use deodorant.
Okay, and then it just breaks it down step by step. It'll take you through that whole video, but breaking it down into many different steps. You can either watch it or you don't have to watch it. And at the end is a little quiz if you wanted to go that far. You know, for some of our instructors, you know, it's important that we test your comprehension. So I chose deodorant because that's one of Temple Grandin's famous stories, is that her first job interview, I think her boss told her, or had just actually handed her deodorant and said, use it, please. So that's an area where our kids need a little bit of help. So anyway, those are some of the great apps that we use most of the time with young adults or adults on the spectrum, because that's what they're targeted at, or because it's already native in all Apple devices. You don't have to get them anything special. And I think that's the goal. If we don't have to use a special app, don't do it. Have them use the things that everyone else is using so they can pick up any device, find the map locator, find reminders, and just start using it. So I'm now going to get out of mirroring. Hopefully I can get out smoothly as I went in.
There we go.
Hey, good.
Welcome back, Lois. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Hey, I wanted just to ask you, well, my takeaway from today's topic was lots of opportunities to help our children become more independent. And I think that's really what we need to be looking for. I mean, it opened up my eyes in a lot of ways that I could be working with my son early now to teach him how to find things. And that map location or the Google Earth thing that you showed him, he enters in our address and says, hey, that's what I've been learning. That is my house. Oh, so if I enter that into this app called Google Earth and I'm lost, for example, then that would show the person where I live. Just things like that. It's, you know, my son's very good at remembering things, but I'm not sure if he understands what he's remembering.
Right. Most of the time we teach them a thing and we grade them for memorizing it, but not knowing what it is. And I find that that happens a lot with phone numbers and addresses. They memorize them because we give them a reward at the end, but they never really what I memorize that, and then they forget it because it doesn't matter to them.
Right.
Show them, you're going to see this huge smile, like, oh my God, that's my house, you know? Look, and they all get very excited about that.
We got a question from Gene, and Gene, I might have to re-enter it in, but he or she is asking, what is the name of this app? I'm not sure which app they're referring to. And Trina is saying, I'm sorry, how do you get to that app? I'm not sure what they're referring to there. Do you, Lois?
Well, there's the Conover company, which has the one that I was showing about hygiene. But they also have, yeah. And if you just type in Conover company, you will get a list of all the apps that they have. Or just go on their website, conovercompany.com. And I think they've reformatted a lot of their apps. And you can still get through it through your device, but I don't know that they changed their structure a bit. Now you're buying a subscription rather than each app individually. But they're all still there. They're great resources. You can get them in DVDs. You can watch them on the computer. You can watch them on your device. Those are nice. Pictello was the open-ended book app, which you can put almost anything in there, from memories of Christmas to a task analysis for walking through an airport. And you can caption it. That's good for just about anything. And the first one was, I believe it's just called like comprehension therapy, naming therapy, but I'm gonna go back and just double check on that one. And it's all in apps for autism. All in there, plus hundreds and hundreds more to go in and look at. All the apps in here and all the apps I'm talking about, I personally use on a daily basis. Every speech therapist I work with, occupational therapist, we all use these. I have not included anything that I don't know anything about or that I've not used hands-on and has worked. So you're not going to find any duds or things you're like, what is that? It's glitchy. Yeah, because as you're working with kids right in the moment, you can't have glitches. You can't have anything go wrong.
They don't like that.
They don't like that. I don't like that. So we get the best ones possible. And there will always be something that goes wrong. And we just like take a breath and mop it up.
Well, you know, everyone, you can get Lois's book on Amazon.com. I can either send you a link or you can go to Amazon at the end of the show and purchase it directly from there. Excellent book, excellent resource, tons of information. She's really put her heart and soul into that. Trina, that's where you find the book. You can go on Amazon.com. I'll send you a link directly afterwards, Trina, so you can get it directly from Amazon. And I think, Lois, we're getting to the tail end of our time. So do we know what the topic is going to be? And we got a question from someone earlier, and I'm not sure if we have apps like that, but she was saying, do you have any apps for toddlers?
Oh, yeah, apps for toddlers. There's so many out there. Yes, I do. And maybe that's what we'll focus on next time.
Okay. And toddlers is like 0 to 2. Is that kind of the range?
No, well, I would say more from 1 to 3.
1 to 3, something like that.
0 to 1, you're not toddling yet.
True. You are just laying there waiting to be picked up.
And I have got a lot of questions like, what's an appropriate amount of time for a little one to spend on the iPad? You know, how do you use the iPad with a little tiny one? Yeah, and there are definitely guidelines and structures and things that you can use to make, you know, your time with the young one very, very valuable and a learning experience and a fun learning experience. That's the whole thing. The iPad is fun. Our kids love it. We love it. Let's use it for good.
Right. So let's see if I have any other questions before we wrap up. It was Pictello. Glad you found that out, Jean. Now, we were supposed to have, we do these monthly. I think you guys will forgive us from this time, but the next fourth Friday is Christmas Day. And I'm pretty sure that Lois is not going to want to hang out with me on Christmas Day. And I'm sure that you guys have other things to do other than watch that webinar. So we'll probably come back in January with a new topic. Maybe we'll look at the toddlers one. That could be a good one.
The questions we get, because we brought this one on because there was questions about young adults. So we'll see what questions we get. Whoever has a question out there or a topic for us, let us know. We can cover it all. I, at one point in time, want to do my toolbox topic, but see if we get any interest.
Well, anyhow, Lois, thank you once again for joining us. As usual, I learned a ton. I always feel so much more educated after sitting and talking to you. You just got a wealth of information. Appreciate your time. Thank you, Lois, for joining us today.
Thank you.
Everyone for being here.
See you again soon. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you guys later.